Hey Alice, Nicole Naomi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we'll be talking about my nursing experience. So I'm going to run down all the details, all of my do's and don'ts, and what nursing was like for me. So stay tuned. So I want to start with milk production. I mentioned this in quite a few videos previously that are already on my channel. However, milk production for me was pretty much on target, but of course it's my first baby. I didn't really know what to expect. So at first I had colostrum. A couple of weeks after that, my regular milk came in and I was pumping what felt like gallons of milk every day with my MomCozy M5 breast pump. And before I got the breast pump, I was just using regular latching, and I could not gauge how much ounces, I guess, per side my son was getting. So for me, once I realized what made my milk come in a lot more was eating oatmeal. I like Quaker Oats. I'm sure the other brands are really good, but I like Quaker Oats. And I also like cho-cho. I don't know what the correct name for it is, but Jamaicans call it cho-cho and Haitians call it militon. I don't know what it's called at the grocery store. But for me, eating cho-cho and eating oatmeal really did crank in my milk supply. And then of course pumping and nursing, just back and forth throughout the day, was really good. Every day was really good for me and for my son. And once my milk came in and it was just like hard cement, once the milk got expressed and I kept producing more and expressing more, I got into a really good rhythm. And it just for quite a while it worked for me. So it helped with weight loss, it helped with feeding my son, it delayed buying formula from the beginning. So it was a very interesting experience. I liked it a lot, but it also came with downsides. Okay, next. So again, I've mentioned my MomCozy M5 breast pump that I'm sure if you too are also an expecting mother or you have your children already and you're currently in your nursing experience, breast pumps are all over your news feeds across social media apps the way they are on mine. I didn't get Willow, I didn't get Olivia, but I did get MomCozy and I love it. I also have other MomCozy products that I'll be discussing in future videos, but I really do enjoy my MomCozy M5 breast pump. And I did mention in my last video that I did love my Haakaa ladybug milk collectors. There was a point in time when I was producing too much milk, so I no longer needed them. But in the beginning, they were very helpful, especially when my son was very small, like directly home from the hospital, and he was only drinking 2 ounces per feeding. So the milk catchers only held 2 ounces for me anyway, so it worked out very well. Another thing that I really liked is the lansinoh breast nipple patches. So these are actually really good for me. I'm sure any random nursing pads would work, but they open like so. Well, they look like this. I got a pack of 100. They look like this. They open like so, and they have adhesives on the back that stick inside of your bra. I usually sleep with these. After many wet shirts and many embarrassing moments, it took me quite a while to get used to these and just get accustomed to having them in stash. I keep these in my room, and when I go to bed at night, I just take out 2 of these, open them up, and there's an adhesive here, an adhesive here. It opens up like this, and you stick it right inside. So my bed is not soaked, my nightshirt is not soaked. If my baby's sleeping in the bed with me, his little onesie is not soaked because he's always all up on me. So the nipple pads are really, really good. Of course, the MomCozy M5 and the ladybug milk catchers, those are also very helpful in my nursing journey, my nursing experience. I do suggest if you are pregnant and you're doing a baby shower or a registry at all, put nipple pads or nursing pads on your registry and just always have them on standby, even if you have extra, because I used to soak through mine in the beginning. Like, it was horrible. I don't anymore, but in the beginning I used to, and it just was extremely uncomfortable. So always keep some nipple pads on standby. So currently, my son is 11 weeks old, meaning I am 11 weeks postpartum. So far in the 11 weeks, it has been a bit of a roller coaster as far as milk production and nursing is concerned. I will say I went from pumping 6 ounces per side every day to now at 11 weeks, I'm still producing milk, but it's definitely no longer enough for my son to feed off of. And originally, during my pregnancy, I planned on breastfeeding for a minimum of 3 months and a maximum of 6 months. And that's for many reasons. Number one, children cannot get solids before 6 months. Number two, I wanted to make sure I didn't go past 6 months because this may sound bad or controversial, but I personally don't like when, for me, if my son was nursed too long and we're out in public and he's like tearing my breast out because he wants to nurse, whether it's for comfort or for feeding. I'm not one of those mothers. So, sue me. But I just wanted to make sure I can control as much as possible before something like that would happen. And I did know that I wanted a minimum of 3 months or 12 weeks, 3 months of nursing or breast milk. Along the way, I did manage to begin combo feeding because when I was solely relying on breast milk, my son lost weight. And obviously we all know infants cannot, or newborns can't lose weight because that's just not how this works. So once I noticed that he was losing weight, we did introduce formula, which broke my heart in the beginning, made me cry for 2 days straight. Like I couldn't look anybody directly in the eye because I was just so heartbroken that I couldn't rely on my breast milk alone because we all know how expensive formula is. So I really wanted to avoid that as much as possible. However, we introduced formula and breast milk. So I did do the combo feeding thing. I will say it took a while to get over whatever mental blocks I had to introduce formula, but he responded to the formula pretty well for what I thought. But he did get colic, he did have a lot of gas, and he did have a watery poop. I thought it was good, but apparently it wasn't, only to find out that my son is lactose intolerant, just like me. So cow's milk does not sit well with my son, and my milk is, you know, decreasing from what it once was. I'll insert pictures throughout the videos to show what I look like and timestamps of each pump, or the pictures of the pumps. So, I am not going to lie. It was pretty disheartening and heartbreaking to know that I didn't hit my 6 months like I wanted. I am still producing, but it's not, like I mentioned, it's not as much to feed my son, but it, you know, it's going away. So I have all this, you know, my breast pump, my milk catchers, my nipple pads, and it feels like, you know, the end of an era. It feels like my nursing journey, what I thought it was going to be, is now coming to an end, and now we're just strictly on formula. I'm glad I made it to 11 weeks, you know, and I'm still producing. So we all know breastfeeding snatches you, and it definitely snatched me because I lost 30 pounds. But you know, when you know that your breast milk journey is over, you don't want to pack back on the 30 pounds, even, you know what I mean, because everything you eat comes out of you when you express the milk. But it just, the end of an era. Okay. Something else I also had to learn was, even though I knew this about other mothers, but I finally got to experience it for myself, my son is a very slow feeder. Even with bottles, he's a very slow feeder. And when I would be nursing on either the right side or the left side, it took me a while to realize when he was pulling for comfort or when he was pulling to feed. So my ear had to get accustomed to hearing him swallow versus just seeing his mouth move and feeling him pulling on me and not swallowing. So week by week by week, what I would do is if he's fussy at nights or he wouldn't fall asleep, or I knew nursing would make him fall asleep. So even if he didn't feed, I knew he would pull for comfort and then fall asleep. Most of the time it worked. But as he got older week by week, it didn't work. Like, he would fall asleep in my lap, and as soon as I'd move him, he would wake up and start fussing again. So that never used to happen in the beginning, but it does now. And another thing too that drives me really, really crazy is that he cries instead of latching when he wants to latch. and me trying to force him to latch doesn't make him stop crying. And it's just so heartbreaking to know that I can't comfort my son in that moment. And it's also very frustrating for me because I know he's tired but won't go to sleep. He'll just fuss instead of going to sleep. So it's a new stage. Like I said, he's 11 weeks. You know, we're approaching 12 weeks and 3-month mark. The fourth trimester is almost over. I'll do a separate video on that in the future. But I just want to say, when your nursing journey begins, or if you plan on nursing at all, there's a difference between pulling for comfort and pulling to feed. And train your ear to listen to when your baby is swallowing. And if your son is a slow feeder like mine, you may start falling asleep too while you're nursing. It's happened to me before. I'm sure it's happened to many mothers. But that is my nursing experience. It was a very interesting one. I will say that I'm very glad that I was able to nurse my son at all and for as long as I did. And I'm also very glad that nursing helped me lose the 30 pounds I've been carrying for 20 years. But needless to say, leave your comments down below. Let me know how your nursing experience went. What products did you use? What methods or routines did you use? What tips and tricks do you have? I would love to share. I'd love to compare. I'd love to see how we're all working this out together with us and our babies. Until then, I'll see y'all in my next video. Talk to y'all later.